to start with. What's first? Continuation. Do you want this as your? Pardon me? Yeah, well, we're just gonna, yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna do the first one, and then we'll do the second kind, is that the one with the breath? And then the third one is with the exerc. And so I'll do it once for you, and then we'll do it. Any questions before I get going? Nope? Okay. So here we go. Let's do a basic C chord, and I'll conduct this for you. Okay. So here we go. Let's just go straight through. Okay, so that's the first one. Now the next is the breath, right? Yeah, here we go. Second one. Okay. And the other one's the secure, so we just stop a little bit, right? Here we go. That's 3, 4. Yep. So, any questions? Again, the most important thing to remember about Fermata is no matter what beat you're holding, you got to give that beat again. No matter what the resolution of the Fermata, you got to give that beat again before you go on. 1, I can give another 1, right? 1, 2, I can give another 2. Same thing with any of the 3. And there's really only the 3 things to do. And then there are only 4 beats to generally 4 beats to worry about. And you got 2, 3, 4. So really not that many possibilities. And these pretty much cover it all. So with that in mind, let's start with you. And we'll just do that exercise. Just go straight through. Don't do the break between bars. No need to. Pick a chord. This is continuation, right? In the same way. Okay, before you go on, fix your baton grip. Yeah, you still got it going down there. Yep, and it's palms down. Try to never for every time I said palms down. So this is the when you bring us out of the continuation, you have to give us, you can't just go straight over into the next beat. You've got to give us a little flick. Always a little flick. You've got to give another ictus, right? Then when you're doing the breath, your breath serves as the ictus. 1, there's your breath, and that's where you get your flick. Your continuation, you got to give us a separate flick. Down, 1, 2, so we get a definite beat with the flick. Otherwise, it's just the difference. Okay, a minute. Okay. Yes, we do a measure of that again. I'll do the last 4, I guess. Great. Same chord.
This is continue.
Stop. Put your hand up. Look at your hand. What is your right hand doing? Palm, is your palm down? There you go. Yeah, it's just a bad habit now. It's going to be really tough to break in a week. So I would walk around with my baton, checking myself, for the next 7 days. Okay. Next time, make sure you're moving your hand as you hold through, right? Moving, 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 moving. Right, and don't forget to move. Keep your hand moving as you hold it. You did one really good one. Your last 3 was really good. You came up 2, and you went out to 3, and you kept moving. But the difference was when you on the last 3 you went 2, 3, and you really gave us an indication you wanted us to hold. Otherwise, it was 1, 2. So 1. It's just screams, sustain, right? 2. So, and the flick is your release and your prep, right? So, 1, 2.
For travel for 1, should be going up.
1. I usually do it something with a little bit of an angle. Because you want to be able to go down again. So a little bit of an angle, out and up. Whatever kind of looks good and feels good. And if you're watching yourself in the mirror on a regular basis practice, you'll come to a point where you'll like the way it looks, and it keeps you in position to come back and reiterate 1 and go on to 2. But that's the key. So a little bit up and to your left, maybe just a little bit. It doesn't have to be very far of a travel either. It just has to be steady. Go on to the third kind. Good, that works, especially the second 4. You were good. I think you were still feeling your way through on the first one. Make sure that your hands are real still for your paws. You've got to be perfectly still. No motion until you're ready for the prep. Just like if you're starting a tune. You've got to be real still. Okay, good job. Third.
Are you wanting us to do that?
No, that's okay. We just need a definite. I'm just giving you a definitive voicing. Oh, that's good. Well, that was pretty good. Do one bar for me real quick. There's just something that we can make just a little bit better on your. And I think it's that you come to a little bit of a stop right before you give us the next one.
Okay.
But generally, those were very good. They were pretty clear. Pretty clear. Just give me a couple of beats. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Good, good. Go on to the next one. Those are very clear. Good. Which way are you going for your cutoff on one?
I was going.
Should go counterclockwise. Because
Okay.
that takes you away from two, right? One, up, two.
Yeah.
So it'll be smoother. Understand? Okay. Next. Good. Those were good. Okay, also pretty good. And this is a little detail, but it's important. If you're going to give us a pretty good sized attack and expect us to sing, with some kind of force, then your cutoff needs to be in proportion to the dynamic level that you've given us before. So if you give us a big dynamic level and give us a tiny little cutoff, it just looks incongruous. You guys understand? It just has to be in the context of whatever's going on. So if you're going to go, then just give us a good sized cutoff. But good. Nicely done. That was very clear. Okay. Bum, 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 Good. Don't forget give us a little flick when you head off for give us your prep for the next beat. It's generally pretty clear, but 1, 2. So just a little bit more of a definitive flick with your wrist will help us with our next attack. You understand? Just give me a bar. And what will also help is if you turn your hand over, so that when you give us that prep, you're not sideways, because it's a little bit more awkward to give us that downward flick if you're sideways. In your case, that's basically the whole thing with your hand like this, so like this. Bum, bum. That's a little bit too much. Bum, bum. We still want to see a little different concept, and that'll help with your palms now. Okay. Go on to the next time. Next example. Okay, good. Generally pretty clear. There's a little extra motion right as you begin your cutoff. There's almost like a prep for your release. So go right into it. 1, up. 1, up. 2, up. Yeah, that one was good. That was good. Again, make sure your hand's turned over. I really want to see your hand down just a little bit more. Sometimes, you can do it when we start getting flowery and stuff. You can start doing stuff like that. I like to get into the habit of like this. more bar with the releases. Okay, good. One of the things is it could be, in this case, it can be a little bit smaller of a gesture. It's really larger than what you've given us before. So again, in the context of what's gone before, it can just be a little bit. Just keep it proportional. Understand? But it's very clear. Go ahead. Next one. I'm just getting paid. You know your hands bouncing sometimes after you tap? Yeah, I don't. Just make it a straight line. What in your mind? What's the effect of the bounce? Helps you keep the sound.
Helps them encourage them to keep making sound, but sometimes it'll cut off too early.
Think so? I think the bump might have more of a tendency to make them alter their tone and their volume. Like, why wouldn't, if I saw you go, why wouldn't I be tempted to go, Why wouldn't I? Why would you give me an excuse to go like that? In other words, why give me an excuse to do anything you don't want me to do? If you want me to hold it through, just give me a nice steady, and if you want to encourage them a little bit with like this hand or something, I think that's a better way to do it. So give them this. I don't think you can do anything that's going to be any more effective than that, including giving them like extra little bumps. Yeah, I just think it's extraneous. And again, what we're going for here at the beginning is getting rid of extraneous gestures, right? And making it as concise and succinct as possible. Okay, great. Really good work. Very clear. Oh, you want to give us a chord? Sure. New chord. So your 2 is especially good. One needs a little bit more of a prep, bum, bum, and a little bit less. The prep doesn't have to be any faster. It just has to be precise. So don't think of it like you have to give it big and then slow it down. As long as you keep your hand moving, you'll keep the sound going and you'll get the attack. So it's not so important to give us a real quick bum, bum, and move real quickly to it. It's not really necessary. It'll keep going, especially after a couple of rehearsals. G, G. So it doesn't have to be a quick gesture. Okay? The reason, let's see. Do one. That's really good. 2 to 3 is great. 2, and you go out and you actually give us a little flicker. If you can look at yourself and give us the same kind of motion that you're doing from 2 into 3, that's what you want for the end. Okay? Make sure your hand is turned over too. Yeah, and this just looks more graceful. This looks like you're doing a sledgehammer thing. Yeah. Boom, boom. We've all seen conductors do that, but it's generally when they're pissed off, right? Come on, right here. So keep it graceful. Go to the next kind. Come on. Raise your hand. There you go. This is going to be on the final. That hand position thing, that will be something I'm grading. wants to turn over this way. We should all purchase some kind of thing to keep our wrist in position. It would initially help anyway. Next. Okay, well done. Well done. Have a look at your preps coming off of one. They're a little bit high. One. Doesn't have to come up here. You could go sideways. A little bit more. Think a little bit more sideways. One. Cut. I'm sorry. Then you're prep for two. Two. Cut. Two is good. Three and then three. Keep three down here. Three. Cut. Four instead of. Okay. Good. Bravo. Half part of the flow. Come on. Let's do something a little bit more diatonic. Just do that. I like that. You really need to use your arm a little bit more for your prep. I mean, you should feel like your other beats. That was all forearm. One more time. That was back and forth to me. I couldn't tell what beat you were. You came down and went to your right, and then you went to your left, then you went to your right, and you went to your left. It was just all back and forth. I think you were just thinking of the fermatas and you forgot about your beat pattern. Do it one more time. That's two. There you go. Wow. One more time. So your rebound on one. Show me more. One. Now where are we going? Two. Yeah. There you go. Right. So one, two. Just give me a different look for two. Just to make it distinct from one. It just needs to be a little bit farther this way. Three here, and then four is definitely up. So what I was seeing is okay, because I know you were thinking about the fermata. Yeah. So do one more time, think about your beat pattern just a little bit more. We need to get a little bit more of a flick from you on your preps, because really you're just moving a little bit, moving slightly this away from your next beat. That's good, but it needs to be a little bit more distinct and specific. So 1, 2. So just the slightest little bit of indication of kind of where your next one's going to be tempo-wise. That's what we're looking for. Just do a bar, one more bar. We need the wristling. A little bit of wristling as you're coming off of that. Not enough to get us to stop, but enough that we that's what we're looking for. And your prep. How would you describe the motion for your initial prep? What should it be? You're definitely going up. What else should it should come from? this. Next time, next time. Okay, hold on. So, the break is good, and you're giving us a nice prep. What we need is for you to keep going after you give us the prep, because what you're doing is here, and you're giving us this, and then you're stopping, and then you're traveling on. We need it to be a continuous motion after you give us the breath. Bum, bum. Think of it as the continuation of your pattern after you had the initial stop. One, now, 1, 2. So nice and smooth and no stop up here. Okay? Much better, much better. Don't be afraid to let it travel a little bit out. You've got plenty of time to get to the next note, right? So 1, bum, bum, depending on the tempo, of course. But at the tempo that you're evidently wanting us to sing, yes, it could be a little bit more flowing. But that was much better. Very good. Next climb. What's happening is the reason we're a little bit unsure is because when you instead of continuing on from where you were, 1 cut, you go up and then you give us the breath. So keep it on a line.
Your pattern.
What's that? I think it's still going.
Yeah, it is. The green light.
Yeah. So, thank you. Here, and then cut. And now don't go up here, give a flip, and go over. Just go. Here, cut. That's kind of the way. That's kind of the way it needs to look. So down here on the same plane. So the extra, again, it's just a little extraneous move you have to do. You're working too hard, basically. Again. That's what it is. Okay. Yes. Pretty good. I mean, you can definitely tell what you're looking for there. If you give us a little bit more with the wrist on your prep for it, I think it'll be even more effective. But generally, good. Next. Your hold on 4, you come off of that really well. Everything else you're actually giving us 2 preps. Okay. You're giving us it looks like this. Back and forth. but I can't see if I'm standing here or not. So this is what I was thinking. One. So it's just a little extra. So if you breathe as you cut off, I think it'll help you. That's what you need. Do it one more time. Well, then you just did it. You just did it. That's two gestures. You just gave us. That's what you just did. Can you see what I'm doing?
No, in all honesty.
Tell me if I'm getting this right. Okay. That's what I saw.
So I'm like flicking it too much.
Yeah, you're
during.
Right. You're just before you give us the breath, you preface for the breath.
Okay, cool. I'm not thinking.
Right. Well, go have a look on the video. You'll see it. Okay. You'll see it. So it's right into it. One. It's just smooth, and then the circle comes. So, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Just don't start the circle too soon. It's just a little bit of a tendency to keep just put a little bounce. To put a little bounce before, and like you have to do a little bit. I think just the pressure. It's like a muscle thing. Just watch that it doesn't give us a fake. Okay. That you're not faking this out. Sorry. No, not at all. That's why we're here. There's no apologizing.
Do you want me to do that again or just move on to
Do the next one. Very good. You only did that little thing one time at the very end. Did you feel it? You looked like you thought, oh, I think I just did it. But very good. Very nicely done. Very effective. Good. I was hoping we could get to queuing today so we can mess around with it just a little bit, but we may not make it. Because we're going to have to review for the final on Wednesday. If you want to. Yeah. How much you're moving before you even look down at your hand. If you don't have it in quite the right position, that's fine. Okay. But it's best, then once you have your hand up, it really needs to be there. Okay. So suck it up and just use whatever position your hand's in. Don't move around and change it. Okay. Just in case. Right. Because it does happen every once in a while. We all raise our hands and oh crap, this really isn't where I need to be. Right. But okay. Just live with it. Yeah. Okay. Just live with it. So, can you hear us breaking between all of them? Yeah. So, what do you think it is that you're not giving us what do you think you're doing that's causing us to break?
I think the prep is too rigid, maybe.
A little bit too rigid and maybe a little bit too big, and it's not really a continuous motion. It's very obviously a different angle. You go off at a different. So here and then up. Instead, think of it as a continuation of the travel from your beat. So here and then So yeah, instead of a big upward thing for everything, just continue in the motion in the direction that you're going before.
Okay.
Try one more bar of that, please.
Okay.
continuing in that same plane will give us more of a feeling that we need to continue.
Okay.
Next. Good, those are very effective. On your 4, you don't have to go up.
Okay.
I would wait to go up until you're prepping for your 1. So
Okay.
this holds true on the other 2 examples I conducted also, or the other one. So 3 cut, 4 can just be straight in, and then you'll have plenty of chance to go up and in after you're on your prep for that.
Okay.
Okay, good though. Good though. Next.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, yeah, that one.
Start just to the second of those part. Stay a little bit more in the middle for your 1. Don't travel so far out to the right.
Okay.
Good. Those are effective. Those are effective. And the preps are good too. Your biggest problem now is with the position of some of your beats.
Right.
One is now coming down a little bit at an angle instead of giving us a prep here.
Okay.
So what I'm seeing is it down this way to 1, and then now you're way out here to start with. So I think it'll help.
Okay.
So down here and sorry.
Yeah.
2, 3, and to make sure that your 4 is not up in here.
Yeah, that fourth kind of floating up.
Yeah, bring it back up into here, travel, and then you can try.
Okay. Yeah, the thing I worked on is 1 is making the stretch of 1 seem like a separate beat. I don't want to.
Right. 1. Well, it just seems to be down and then you're right.
Right. The frequency.
No, that doesn't look separate. Okay, so it's fine.
Okay.
Some of it. So really, it's really just like this. Maybe that's not even a representation of the truth. So just a little blip there, and then right back up to here.
Okay.
Okay? Good. Yeah, just work on the positioning of each beat. Yeah. Nice to know. What chord do we have? C. Good. Your continuations are good. Everything's good. Once you give us a little prep and a flick for your next beat, it doesn't have to be quite so far up. Just keep it lower. And somebody else did this too. So what we're looking for is it just doesn't have to go just keep it down. Yep. Very good. Give me 1 bar of that quick for the continuation. Good. Next. But you're doing what everybody needs to do, which is breathe, and that'll really help you. Really help you. Good job. All right. Next. Okay, that's good. Let's see what I need to see. Those are very good. Those are very good. Just generally, you can keep it down just a little bit more. It's good though. Very effective. That's it, man. Bring your hand in a little bit more. You can start pretty much like at the edge of your body. I'd rather see it right in there rather than out here. Still. Look where your hand is. Yeah, it should really be. See where mine is? Here? Not on here. If your forearm is going out at an angle from your body, then your elbow isn't up high. There, that's better. You need to give us a little bit more precise definition of each beat's position, because one's out here pretty much where 3 is. Yeah. But keep one a little bit more in the middle. Okay. Just designate areas and confine yourself, even if it means going a little bit more slowly and not traveling as far as maybe you'd like. 1, 2, once more. I think you can raise your baton just a little bit more. It's kind of hard to see down. No, it's not the stand. Stand's good. It just needs to be a little bit more. Good, you did it. You did it with the focus. Those are good. Next example. The breath. Very good, very good. Your hand can be a little bit higher on that one too. Going to the next one, those were very effective. Good. Those are very nice. Those are very nice. Good. Good job. Good job. Wow, I appreciate your decision. One is the weakest one. It's probably, it just feels a little against everything else that we've done this semester to take off away from one, but don't be afraid to do it, even if it's just a little bit. But those are generally effective. You had a particularly nice little thing on 2. Try to make them all look the same. Go on to the next kind, please. Yep. little bit more like what we were just doing. Really pretty good. One was also a problem on this one. So just think of, if you can do that, and you put your first prep, the first of those two was excellent. Take a look at that when you see it on the video and make them all look like that. Okay, good job. Wednesday we'll review for the final. If we have any time, maybe we'll check out cueing. Not that hard, it's just takes practice. I guess I've been saying that all semester, right? What else is new? All right. What? That is still my password.